Okay, so I'm going to be going over the Jade Lizard. Before I do so, make sure to go to ztrades.net. The link's below in the description. Make sure to read and accept our terms and conditions as well as our disclaimer. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. What is a Jade Lizard? So a Jade Lizard is very simple for you option sellers. Those of you that are not option sellers, you need to learn. You really need to learn all strategies. You need to have all the tools and all the strategies. If you're new, you've got a long road ahead of you. But if you're a veteran trader here on the buy side, right? Imagine all that time that you've sat in buy side options. All that theta you've given us sellers. You've made us rich, right? You know, if you have enough capital, it's like having a full-time job. The longer you're in that options contract or that strategy, the more theta you're collecting, right? It could be up to $8 an hour. Let's just jump into this right here and show you guys. I like using Robinhood because the visuals are so clean. Let me go ahead and move my floating head over here to the side. Let's go out to June. So this is for somebody that's bullish, right? Not that bullish, but believes that it's going to definitely stay where it's at. Right? I'm going to go over the risks first. Let's go over tomorrow one more time. Okay, and just look at it. You know, the Bitcoin halving just happened. Look at this little hook right here. Right? We've got a line. I'm not using advanced charts here. So I can't chart this and show you what I'm seeing here, but this thing wants to go. I definitely see 24 coming back again, maybe even these tops. They just smashed earnings. The Bitcoin halving just happened, you know, a little over 2 weeks ago. And we have, usually crypto starts to go in fall. So this thing has a great road ahead of it, in my opinion. Doesn't mean that's a fact. And I've been selling puts on it and getting assigned some shares. I've been wheeling it and selling covered calls. Let's check out this strategy. And yeah, and I do not believe it's going to go that far down. But in the meantime, the short term, I don't believe it's going to go that far up. Right? I have till about June to do this, in my opinion, because I believe it's going to really go up after that. And if it's going to really go up, I really don't want to be doing a Jade Lizard. I'd want to be doing cash secured puts only, right? So this is pretty much a neutral position. Now let's go ahead and jump into how I would do this. First off, let's just take a look at the call credit here. I'm always a little bit out of it when I do these videos because I do them so early in the morning. I'm just hardly even here. You know, it's 7 a.m. I just drank coffee. I just woke up. So if I sound a little bit weird, you guys are going to have to bear with me. So let's go ahead and look at this. Let's check out, we would sell, let's say, a 23, and I would buy a 25. I need that to shrink. All right, that's going to give me $35 in credit right here. Right, that's how much I'm going to receive. Now, my max loss is $161. And that's a lot. You're risking, you know, we can make this tighter. I can make it really tight, but it's almost not even worth my time. 14 cents, I'd just rather just sell a cash secured put, right? And you don't have to do this on Mara. It can be any stock, but keep in mind it has to be an equity that you're willing to fork out the money to buy 100 shares of. So am I going to do this on NVIDIA, on a challenge account? Well, I'm going to have quite a bit of money in there. Like a lot, a whole lot. So Mara, sure, I'll buy, you know, 100 shares. What is that, $1,800? Great. You know, I get paid to get in, and then I get to sell options on it, and it's probably, the chances of it going up are very high. If it doesn't go up, the IV is going to remain high. You know, within a year, maybe a year, a little over a year, I could probably get the money back that I put in it through selling covered calls, right? So, again, I'm going to do a bear call spread. This is a bearish position, right? Let's go over this one more time. Sell call, buy call, all right? So, I'm going to sell. Which one was it again? The 23. Okay, if it runs up, the stock runs up, this is going to destroy me. And this is a hedge, right? So my loss is not unlimited. It's a bear call spread. All right. Now, if it runs down or doesn't hit this strike, if we're just talking about a bear call spread, this was the hedge. This is what you lose. This is what you win. What's the difference? That's your winnings, right? I'm going to make 171. I'm going to lose 136. What's the difference between that? 35 bucks. That's what I win. Okay. Max loss is $161. Here's where the other part comes in. We're going to go to sell put. Remember my max loss is 161. Well, if I'm slightly bullish on it, meaning I do not believe it's going to drop below 18. If it does kiss 18, it's probably going to bounce immediately, right? Well, if I sell an $18 put for $174, that's exceeding my max loss on the call spread. Okay, ignore this max loss, right? I'm going to explain why this is wrong. This has nothing to do with the spread. That has nothing to do with this play at all, and I'm going to explain why. Now, what am I going to receive total? $209 in credit, right? Where does this max loss come in? Well, if the equity Mara drops, it doesn't matter if it goes even to $10, right, in the meantime, unless it had a dividend. If it had a dividend, it would be called from you, but it doesn't have a dividend. Even if it goes down to $1, right? It can go wherever it wants, but it cannot be at 18 to the cent or below that on expiration, June 21st. If it's there, well, I'm forced, even if it's at $16, I'm forced to buy the shares at 18. Well, I would still be break even. I would still be profitable if it went to $16. I just received $209 back immediately. I didn't have to wait for it to expire. I got that immediately. I can withdraw that from my account. That's mine, right? It's different than options buying where you don't get the cookie or the reward or the trophy until you get out of the play, right? Or the play is finished. You get this immediately. So, it would have to be, even if I was assigned the shares, I'm getting $200, $209. Even at $18, that would put me green $9. I kind of like those odds. I turn around and sell a covered call at, 17 and I'm getting 135, right? That's the wheel. Where does this max loss come in? Max loss, wow, I don't want to do this for only $209. I could lose $1,582. Well, why it's giving you that max loss is because it's saying if you're assigned to Mara and Mara goes to 0, right? Let's pull up a calculator. I'm going to pull up a calculator here. I'll show you what it's saying. So it's not the spread. You're not going to lose that on the spread. The spread, that can't happen, right? You're either going to make 209, right, or you're going to be assigned. So what would be 1,800 minus 209 equals? So it's saying if you, I don't know where it's getting the 82 from, if you were assigned the shares, right, and then Mara, the price of the stock goes to 0. It's not going to happen. They've got like over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin on their balance. They're not going to go to 0, in my opinion. That's not going to happen just all of a sudden out of nowhere when they just had earnings. They just went over everything, and everything's within good standing for the most part, right? And they've got a bright future ahead. They're making a lot of money on Bitcoin transaction fees right now. Usually every time there's been a halving, Bitcoins went parabolic after the halving. So don't be afraid of that max loss, right? Even if I'm selling a naked put, right, which is a cash secured put, it's going to give me a max loss of if the equity after I was assigned went to 0. Don't get scared, right? Now, don't just go out here and do this on every position, right? A Jade Lizard. Every strategy has its place, right? And maybe a Jade Lizard wouldn't be the answer for what you would be doing your play on. And if Mara wants to drop a little bit, I think I may do one there's a high chance it's going to end up shooting up above. If Bitcoin starts to run here, I really think that Mara's going to shoot up quite a bit. So I may do this on something else just to test it. Something cheaper, right? Riot it's got that little inverted head and shoulders right there too. This thing may pump. But Riot has just, I'm pretty sure that they did a big share offering in mid 2023, if not the end, and they may still be doing that. They're building that giant 1 gigawatt factory south of Dallas in Texas. So, they have to come up with quite a bit of money, and they're going to be making quite a bit. But now their debt, right, and the dilution of the shares has really smacked it. Look at that thing last time. I remember it was at a quarter, 25 cents, and the thing shot up to $80. It's not showing that here. But I may do a Jade Lizard on this thing. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and see what I can get paid here. We'll go out to June just to test this strategy out. June, I will sell a call 13s and I will buy a 15. Max loss 180 to make $20. I really don't like that at all, but we're going to go with that for the sake of this. It's almost makes it pointless to do. See, it worked better on Mara. I'd take the 35 bucks and work a lot better. Let's go ahead and jump into the put sell. Like I said, it all comes down to the IV, right, and the Greeks on the options. There's certain times where it'll make sense, and there's certain times where it won't make sense. And let's go ahead and look at a put here. And see, I'm not going to get 180 for anything to cover that max loss. Let's go back over on this side. See, I don't like that at all. I'd be making 11 cents, max loss 88. I'd basically have to sell the $10 put for $1, and I'd be getting 92 cents. But what's the point of being on the call side at that point? All right, so Mara is really it, and it's going to be hard for me. I don't want to waste time trying to find other stuff, but Mara really seemed like the play for a Jade Lizard going into earnings. Would have been a fantastic strategy. So when Riot's going to have earnings, let's see when they are going to have earnings. They're going to have earnings. They already announced it, so that's why the IV is low and it's not making sense right now on Riot. When did they announce that? I am not sure. So, anyways. But that's the Jade Lizard. I'm going to be going into some other option strategies as well. We're going to be getting into poor man's covered calls, as well as iron butterflies. I'm pretty sure I have a video out on iron condors, broken wing butterflies, long butterfly spread, ratio spreads, calendar spreads. We're going to get into all those. I know it sounds very intimidating at first whenever you hear these names and I start to get into this. You guys are missing out on a gold mine of strategies and opportunities that are a lot lower risk. Those of you that claim you work, right, and you're trying to scalp on that, don't do that. I did that. I know. I've been where everyone has been before in the past. It is, and then you get called into a meeting and you're in same days or something, or you got to minimize, and there goes $200, or your boss will catch you and you get fired, right? And I would get fired over trading. And catch me downloading TD Ameritrade on the work computer, and the IT people be like, "What are you doing? You day trading at work?" I'm getting off topic now. But check out some of these strategies. If you're at lunch at work, you have 5 minutes to get in a play. And it's not going to really take that. It could take 2 to 3 minutes. Bathroom breaks, lunch breaks, you can get in one of these strategies. You can be looking at it after work, before work, right before you go to bed, and you can be getting in what you want to get in at work. And then you don't really have to monitor it at all, right? Because when you agree to get in that, you're agreeing with the outcome. Either way, good or bad. And that's how it goes. So if you guys like this content, make sure to like and follow for more. Also, in the description, there's a link to join Z-Trade's Discord group, which is totally free.